Good morning, good morning. It is Moxie in the morning. So guys, I'm up having coffee just like every other day. I hope you guys are too. I hope you slept well. Looks like we had that lunar eclipse that came in around midnight Mountain Standard Time. If you're like in LA, it's around 11:15 that it hit us, and we had all of that weird energy from the rest of the week. So tell me how you're feeling. Tell me some details. I love the details. I got a couple of people that I know are heading off to work, so I wanted to get the video done. Believe it or not, this is take 4. Good thing I have coffee. A few technical difficulties this morning, lighting issues, but I think I finally got it. So let's chat about big energies. So as you guys all know, midnight-ish, like I said, that lunar eclipse. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about today, because it's kind of a rough one, a good one, but it's a rough one. So it's our first lunar eclipse in 2020. And when you pair it with the eclipse on December 26th, and then you roll it through with the energy from right after Christmas time, right? That means that we're going to have a lunar eclipse phase that lasts all the way till June 5th of this year. And so lingering energies is what I'm going to call it. So there's a lot going on. One of the things that was like super cool is that, not super cool, but it's cool to me because it's a little bit of a blend of all of that science. I'm going to adjust this just a teeny bit. There you go. Is that when you look at the chart, it's so crazy. I'm going to attempt to show you the chart. I'm going to have to hold up my computer, but I want you guys to see what I'm talking about here so that when you can see here. Let me turn my computer around and hope that you guys, I'm going to hit my coffee. See what you guys can see here. And I know that there's a glare on it, so I'm gonna try to move that for a minute. Okay, do you guys see this? This is our moon, and there it is. And do you see all of this? That means it's in opposition to all of those planets and signs today, guys. And so it's directly across, it's in opposition. So it's like kindergartner here, me trying to show you stuff on my computer, but whatever. So we've got the moon in opposition to so many. So you take the opposition and the lunar eclipse, and what you've got is some interesting energies that are going on, interesting oppositions. And so when something's in opposition, right, then it's gonna create tension. And we've got the lunar eclipse is in opposition to Mercury, in opposition to Saturn, and it's in opposition to Pluto. Mercury, Saturn, Pluto. So, and then it's trining with Neptune. Now, that's not a huge boost, but it is a good, soft place to land during the eclipse. So let's talk about each of those. The lunar eclipse, the opposite of Mercury, Mercury, we've talked about this, right? He's our messenger, and it's going to be, he's about communication and transport and things like that. So right now, with the moon, opposite moon being our emotions and our inner self, it means that we're going to have some opposition with communicating our feelings and being a little oversensitive and not understanding other people. So when people are trying to communicate with you, you're going to find yourself having a hard time. And so that opposition kind of gets in the middle of your communication and relaying your emotional self to others, or trying to convey your wants or needs to others. And so today, be very, very patient with other people because they're not receiving the information the way that they normally do. So it's like this big energy. that is getting in the way. So oppositions are hard that way. I was saying also the way you communicate to other people, so you're going to have to be very careful, and you're going to have this tendency to react very instinctively and intuitively, and slow down. Like, best advice I ever got in my entire life has always been slow down just a little. So do that today. You're also going to find that if you struggle with, funny little Mercury tidbit is that if you struggle with addiction and any kind of prejudices, you're going to see those kind of come up today and want to bleh out, right? Just bleh. So careful with those today. Communication, slow down, be patient. Please be patient with everyone. So lots of miscommunication when the moon is opposite of Mercury. The other thing that we have is we have the eclipse is opposite of Saturn. And when you don't have a good aspect with Saturn, then it's sometimes what we end up feeling is a lot of like boredom, unrest, dissatisfaction with like your job and your current situation, melancholy, just feeling like maybe life isn't as happy or joyful as you want it to be. And we talked about that yesterday. Create those moments of joy today. Create moments of joy through this period. And then don't be surprised if people tell you that you're coming off a little cold and distant and like you don't care. Saturn creates those with us, especially when it's in opposition with our moon and our emotional self. And so you may feel like you're being a little harsh today, and you're going to feel it from others. You're going to feel it from others too, feeling like they're a little bit cold and distant, and that just exacerbates that inability to communicate and the difficult communication that we're feeling because of Mercury. So then we also have the lunar eclipse opposite of Pluto. And the deal with Pluto is sometimes it really starts to manifest in our relationships. And Pluto sometimes will have us feeling things at the extreme. And when the moon and your emotional self is opposite that, where normally it makes us feel so like strong and so deeply, today you're going to realize that it's not your greatest emotions that are going to be really passionate about. Moon opposite and the lunar eclipse. God, the lunar eclipse opposite of Pluto means that you may find that the emotions that are heightened and exacerbated are going to be the not pretty ones. Jealousy, obsessiveness, fear, insecurity. And so be aware of that today, right? I say personally, go out there, continue to just be yourself and put yourself out there, because that's what we do. We get up and we do it anyway. But understand that if you're feeling that emotion, just say, hey, you know what? I'm feeling this today because I'm doing it anyway. I'm also probably perceiving other people's reactions a whole lot differently than is real, than is whatever. So be aware of those things. Guilt and shame are right there too with Pluto, where you're going to probably feel a little bit like you should be doing more, or you could have handled that different, or you could be a better person, you could be a better partner, you could be a better spouse, whatever it is. So be careful with those. So seriously, guys, that's 3 oppositions, 3 big oppositions. There's some other little things in there, but those 3 big oppositions are going to kind of rule your day, rule probably your weekend, because, you know, right now we're just feeling like that heightened part, and then it's going to go down. Now, the thing that I did want to talk about, though, is that lunar eclipse trine Neptune today. That eclipse training, meaning it's in a good spot. It's like the 3rd player in a you need that third person to come in and finish up a game or to win a contest. This is your pinch hitter that kind of comes in today. And so that's what Neptune's going to do for us today. And it's not a super strong aspect today, but it does give us a little bit of hope there at the end of this little discussion, because Neptune rules over our like compassion and sensitivity, inspiration. And so you want to make it through, right? You're going to feed Neptune today. Feed Neptune with some spiritual guidance, if that's, something that you do, with something that reaffirms faith in you, in your world, and lots of meditation. So, because Neptune also will help guide you in what you're supposed to be doing, and you've got all of these emotions coming up. And that's another thing that I want to point out to you guys, is that these oppositions are there, but at the same time, this full moon, this lunar eclipse is going to bring up all of these emotions. And when those emotions come up, right, two choices, guys. You can just like swallow them and push them down and be like, I don't want to deal with this. Or you can be like, oh, what's that? Oh, let me deal with this. Put it away. Because if you don't deal with them, then they come up later and they come up later. And I'm a big proponent of getting it out of the way, dealing with it now, and not trying to squish it. Squishing it will make you sick, literally sick. You'll be tired and depression. Watch for depression during this eclipse as well. So be very careful. But today, take some time. It doesn't matter how many times you have to do it. If you need to step away from the fold of the people that you're in today and just take 5 minutes and close your eyes and focus your energy. You guys hear me say breathe and center. And I create in my mind this straight line that I'm filling up with good energy. And then when I feel like I've reached it, then I can step back in and be like, you can't shake me. My core is so strong. And so you may need to do that off and on today, and then take some time whenever today. I'm attending a full moon meditation practice ceremony tonight with Karma on Deck, and I'm going to be there for as long as I need to feel like I'm in control of me and my life. And I'm also going to take that time to let all of this emotional stuff come up with the full moon. And my goal tonight is to process those, get rid of them, embrace the ones that I need to serve me for the remainder of the year, and let go. So guys, like I said, so it's not super pretty today when you look at the chart I showed you guys, but there's a good place in there that you can find. And while those things are coming up, all of those, everything I talked about, where we were talking about Mercury and Pluto and Saturn, all of them give you an opportunity to process and clean up those feelings that are coming. Because like I said to you, if you have like prejudice or negative feelings, you definitely could process those, figure out where they come from. Why? Do I need them? Is it serving me? So do that for me tonight. Guys, I will hit you up tomorrow. I'm hoping that tonight really clears things up for me, and I love each and every one of you. If you guys want to know more, you can private message me. You can hit me up here on YouTube. Find me on YouTube if you're seeing this somewhere else, because I will post it somewhere else. But find me on YouTube. It's Magic and Moxie Practical Astrology, and it's Moxie_magic on Twitter, and Magic and Moxie on both Facebook and Instagram. And you guys can private message me. You can hit me up on Gmail too. It's Magic N as in Nancy MAGICN, Moxie, MOXIE @gmail.com. And I love answering your guys' questions. I have some of you that I am going back and forth in email, which has been so fun, and getting to know you guys. So I love you guys. Have a fabulous Friday. Don't forget to have some fun.